Hey guys, today I'm gonna be doing a reaction video to Matt Walsh debating this girl about transitioning children. So let's check this one out.
Depressed and anxious population in the trans community.
Yeah.
But you don't talk about the happy people in the trans community and how these preventative measures of, let's say, like puberty and the surgeries that go for gender affirmation and how these are life-changing and life-saving. I know many people.
How do you know?
Oh, okay. 1 second, if I can finish my conversation.
Okay.
Many people in my life have had these interventions made and it's saved their lives. I can list dozens of people in my life. So what do you have to say for...
You can list dozens of people who had surgeries and drugs as children and would be dead today if they hadn't?
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Dozens of people who have had interventions, including gender affirming, let's say therapies, yes, hormones, surgeries that have made their lives better. I'm not saying it didn't force them to commit suicide, but it made their lives better. What do you have to say for the happy trans community?
I guess I would throw back at you first because the burden of proof is on you on this one. And I'll explain why the burden of proof is on you. Because as I went over in the talk, for thousands of years, human beings existed and there was no such thing as trying to medically transition people into another gender. And as far as we know, there was no suicide epidemic because of it. And then in the last few years, people like yourself have come along and said, we desperately need to do this or people will be in despair and they might kill themselves. So you are making a claim that contradicts common sense, science, biology, also the entire experience of the whole history of the human race. And so what that means is that the burden of proof is on you to support it. And so I'm going to ask you, you said that people need this stuff so they can live happier lives and potentially it'd be life-saving, you said even. Aside from your anecdotes of your friends who told you so, how do you know that?
Okay, so thinking back to when I was 16 in an anatomy class, when I learned that transgender people tend to have the brain structure that confirms their identity that they identify with. What? And you can look that up. That's a fact.
I will look that up.
Yeah, it's a fact.
I will look that up and I won't find it.
Yeah.
It's not a fact. It's not a fact.
Should we all pull out Google really quick and look?
So you're saying a trans man has the brain of a woman?
No. I'm saying that a trans man who identifies as a man will tend to have similar brain structure that a cis man would.
Yeah.
And where did you get that from?
Look it up. It's literally, I'm telling you, I learned it from my anatomy class when I was 16. And I looked up the fact before I walked up here because I knew that you would ask.
Okay. That's not true, but it also doesn't answer the question. So let's try to stay focused on one false claim at a time if we can, because we might get bogged down.
Okay.
So you said, you actually started by saying that blocking puberty, which is chemical castration of a child.
Just one example, yeah.
Yeah, is life-saving.
It can be. How
do you know?
Because there are children who have been suicidal that have had these interventions made.
What children? How do you know? How many children have had that done?
Me personally,
and then
I
are
haven't
still
met
suicidal?
children. Me personally, I haven't met enough trans children to answer that question.
Okay.
But I know that the research exists.
You're making this statement. You're stating it as a fact in front of all these people. There must be a reason. There must be something that you encountered that led you to this rather radical conclusion that to save a child's life, you have to chemically castrate him.
Not every child. No, sir.
Okay. Well, that is what you just said. The drugs we give to kids for puberty blockers, so-called puberty blockers, originally are cancer drugs used to treat prostate cancer. They're also used to chemically castrate sex offenders and child rapists. Now we give them to physically healthy kids. You're saying that we need to do that or they will die. And so one last time I'm going to ask you, what evidence do you have of that remarkable claim?
I don't think I claimed that every child would benefit from that.
No, I didn't say you did.
And okay,
You
well,
said
no,
puberty
you
blockers.
did. You did.
You said puberty blockers are life-saving. What
I
evidence do
said
you have for that?
they can be.
So
The
how do you
evidence
know?
is the encounters with patients who have had these procedures done, and it has saved their, I don't want to say it saved their lives, but it has made their lives better. I can't confirm whether or not they're alive right this second, but there are children that it has helped. So what do you have to say for the happy trans community who has benefited from these procedures? That's my question.
I guess what I
for
have
you.
to say is that your entire question is built on a whole stack of false premises that you can't begin to even remotely defend. So it's a faulty question from the start. I reject your premise. I absolutely reject that there are any kids who need to be chemically castrated in order to be happy.
Okay. Let's.
I reject that.
I mean, when these people, when you say the things they say, when you say back to them, or when they say it out loud, when you say it out loud, when they tell you stuff, you say it out loud, it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right. Like I'm telling you, when Matt Walsh repeated what she said back to her, it didn't sound right, and she knew that didn't sound right. This is oh my god, this is insane. This is insane. Anyway, that was funny. If you like the video, please hit the like button, hit the share button. Leave your comments down below. I always love to read them. And if you may, please subscribe. You have a good night.